Hi everybody, how are you doing? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about stress. So I know we talked in earlier videos about stress and how it impacts your adrenals and your cortisol levels, and I'm going to post a few images today to sort of echo that as well. But really the biggest challenge is, how do you combat stress? Because we all have stress. And it would be simple to say, you know, I'm just going to live a stress-free life. But if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have parents, if you have friends, if you have anything really, it's really hard to manage stress. So I don't know that I have all the answers. And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to each person having coping techniques for their stress and having coping techniques that don't involve food. So I think what a lot of us do when we're stressed is we binge eat, and we think that that's going to solve our problems. And what we know, you know, because our weight increases, obviously, that it's momentary stress, it's momentary joy, and ultimately it may make us feel bad afterwards, feel bloated, and ultimately gain weight, which makes us more stressed and more sad. So the key sometimes is to get yourself out of the environment that you're in if you're stressed out. But I know it sounds sometimes hokey about breathing and yoga and all of that, but if that's something that you have not incorporated into your daily routine, things like meditation and yoga and breathing really do make a marked difference for people. People who have mastered meditation, and it can start very simply with, 2 minutes a day and just focusing, on your breath, in, out, and do it for 2 minutes. And every time your mind wanders, bringing your mind back to center and what your chant is. Let's say it's in, out. But the key to meditation, and I'm still on the meditation journey, but what I have found about it is that when I am stressed, I have a go-to action that I can do, kind of like putting your kids in, 10 seconds of timeout. But it's something that I can actively do to calm myself down. So I definitely recommend, downloading maybe some meditation audios, which I'm sure many of them are free, or grabbing a book, or just even downloading and, Googling and reading blogs about meditation. It doesn't have to be something that takes a whole lot of your time, but it's something that I think you might find some benefit. A basic breathing technique that I do a lot is something we call 4-7-8. And basically that is breathing in 4 breaths, like one, it's hard to do it while I'm talking, but 1, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, holding your breath, holding it for 7 seconds, and then breathing out slowly 8 seconds. So it's breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. And it's amazing what happens if you do this a couple of times. Just over and over again, just sort of relaxing yourself. Another good thing to do sometimes when you're stressed is exercise. Now that might not be as simple as going to the gym, depending on what your schedule is, but depending on where you are or what you're doing, even just sort of dropping and doing some push-ups or doing some arm weights or running in place or just something to sort of release some kind of energy can also help. When you're eating, something called the 3-3-3 technique can often work, which is, first off, say a word of gratitude when you sit at the table, which calms yourself right before you start your meal, especially if you're with stressed family on a holiday or something. That's always a good thing. Take 3 deep breaths. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes too. Sorry, take 3 deep breaths during the meal. Take a break for 3 minutes and do it 3 different times. Okay? So basically what you're doing is taking your meal and you're just trying to slow it down. Also, make it about the environment and the people that you're with, less about the food that you're eating. Cravings are a big thing. I posted the other day about sometimes what cravings mean in your body. The challenge with cravings is that when your stress is high, you definitely get cravings, and it's often for sweet or for salty. It's okay to yield a little bit. This is where we talk about, are you on the journey to get to a goal, or are you living this as a lifestyle? So you kind of have to decide where you are on that plan. But often if you do the opposite of what your craving is, so when salty is your craving, go sweet, and vice versa, sometimes that helps cut the craving for you. Sleep is the best stress reduction. So if that's something that you can add and do more of, that would be a great thing. And the key is really to cut your cortisol levels, because when you have more cortisol, as we talked about, it has your body hold on to visceral fat, which is the belly fat. So maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's exercise, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's breathing techniques, and maybe it is cutting something out of your life that is giving you ongoing stress. But the key is the stress isn't going to help your weight loss efforts, and in some instances will have you hold on to weight. So we want to make sure that we manage stress the best that we can. Take care.